I need to be honest with you. I did not expect that Spider-Man Brand New Day could actually be good. I'm just not really a big fan of Tom Holland Spider-Man. Not because of Tom Holland, but more because of what it means for the MCU. My favorite Spider-Man stories on the big screen are actually the Into and Across the Spider-Verse stories. And they are just great. But then the movie went ahead and surprised me anyway. There's actually a moment near the end of this movie that reminded me strongly of another recent Marvel film, which I really liked. And I need to come back to that later because I don't think that's a coincidence. Now, watching the trailers, I was expecting an overload cameo show, and that's not what this movie actually is. This movie is far more focused than I expected, and it's the most Peter Parker-centric story we've gotten in the entire MCU. There's a character in this movie that I'm not going to name, someone I really liked, and beyond just being a fun name drop, she actually reinforces the whole theme of the film. And that theme is loneliness. I mean, especially in terms of Peter Parker, it's just what it does to someone and how directly it's tied to the consequences of No Way Home. I really like that. It's not just a cheap emotional beat, it's the backbone of the movie. And that's why scenes between Peter and MJ really hit. But besides the drama, the action is also really well choreographed. It looks and feels realistic, even when it's not always really grounded. And swinging through New York hasn't felt this good in ages. This is genuinely the best looking live action Spider-Man movie we've gotten, I think. The visuals of New York are beautiful and there are rarely any shots that look fake. I want to watch this one again in IMAX just for the swinging sequences alone. Tom Holland also does something here I didn't expect. He's grown up. We go from the goofy kid who just jokes his way around every situation to someone more serious, to someone who just also rocks the dramatic scenes. It really feels fresh for the MCU, and honestly it reminded me a lot more of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man than any of Tom Holland's previous Spider-Man movies. Even the detective angle works. Spider-Man playing the detective is fun, and while the case itself is pretty predictable, especially if you're a fan of the comics or you know a bit more about the casting rumors, the movie is just still a lot of fun. Now, if you're into these kind of reviews or also movie analysis where I break down each movie, like The Odyssey last week, then please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of 2026 and every sub counts. Well, obviously not everything lands. The VFX isn't always spot on. You can catch some green screen here and there, though it's not a big deal in the moment. It just takes you out of the immersion for like 1 second. And as you've seen in the trailer, the Hulk is in this movie and honestly, he's unnecessary. He's barely more than an obstacle in an action sequence. And Spider-Man's new adapting powers, while thematically fitting, felt like a bit of a cop-out for me. Anytime he gets into a situation he shouldn't be able to get out of, he just activates that new power and he's fine. To me it undercuts the tension a little. And then there was the ending, which I do like for the record, but it felt so similar to Thunderbolts' ending, and it's almost distracting because of that. Not necessarily in a bad way, it just makes me a little sad that they didn't find a really original angle, but it's not that big of a deal, and I was just more sad that Thunderbolt just didn't get the success it deserved, which Spider-Man is getting. Okay, now where does this leave us? The movie is remarkably good at balancing drama and action in a way we genuinely haven't seen in the MCU in ages, and especially not in Spider-Man. It's not the best Spider-Man story ever told. That's still Across the Spider-Verse for me, and it's not close, but it might be the best live action one we've gotten. I'm not sure about that yet, but it seems like it. For me, it's a 4 out of 5. Now, before you come at me saying, why didn't you put Spider-Man 2 above this one? I just haven't watched that movie in ages, and I didn't really like it. But I was also pretty young, so maybe if I watch it again, it may be higher than this one. But currently, this is in 3rd place for me. And it's easily the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. Now, last week I broke down why The Odyssey feels so epic, and there are a couple of reasons for that. So if you want to see that, check my video out here. Okay, thanks for watching. Different setting this time. But I hope you still enjoyed it. Okay, bye.